Welcome back, friends. Let me start by saying this softly, because this isn't something you shout. At some point in your life, you're going to change. Not all at once, not dramatically, just quietly. And one day you'll notice that the people around you are reacting differently. They seem confused, distant, uncomfortable, not because you did something wrong, but because you're no longer being who you used to be. And that's when it hits you. You didn't just grow. You outgrew the version of yourself that everyone else learned how to love. You have outgrown the version of you they once knew. That moment, it's lonely, it's confusing, and nobody really prepares you for it. So tonight I want to talk about that moment, what it means, why it hurts, and how to keep moving forward without shrinking yourself back down. We talk a lot about growth, like it's always exciting, like it's promotions, confidence, glowing up, leveling up. But real growth, the kind that changes you from the inside out, it often looks like losing people, feeling misunderstood, being labeled different, being told you've changed, like it's an accusation. And sometimes it doesn't even feel like growth at all. It feels like grief. Because the truth is, when you outgrow an old version of yourself, you're also letting go of old habits, old roles, old survival patterns, and sometimes old relationships. You're not just becoming someone new. You're saying goodbye to who you had to be, to survive. And survival versions of you, people get comfortable with those. Here's something most people don't realize. When you change, it forces others to confront who they are. Some people benefited from your silence, your overgiving, your availability, your lack of boundaries. And when you grow past that version, it disrupts the balance. So they say things like, "You're not the same anymore. You're acting different. I miss the old you." What they really mean is, I miss the version of you that made me comfortable. And that's hard to hear, especially when you didn't change to hurt anyone. You changed because staying the same was hurting you. Nobody talks enough about the guilt of saying no, the guilt of choosing peace, the guilt of not showing up the way you used to. You start asking yourself, am I selfish? Am I cold now? Did I forget where I came from? But let me tell you something important. You can honor your past without living there. You can love people deeply and still choose distance. You can appreciate who you were without becoming them again. Growth doesn't mean you think you're better. It means you finally realized you deserve better. One of the strangest parts of growth is this. Places that once felt safe start feeling tight. Conversations feel repetitive. Energy feels heavy, and you can't explain why, you just know you don't fit in the same anymore. That doesn't mean those spaces were bad. They were right for who you were then, but you're not wrong for outgrowing them. Shoes don't become useless because your feet grew. They just served their purpose. There's often a quiet season after growth, where you're not who you used to be, but you haven't fully met who you're becoming. That space can feel empty, but it's not punishment. It's alignment. You're shedding what no longer matches you so you can recognize what does. Don't rush that season. Don't numb it. Don't run back just to feel familiar again. Some loneliness is not loss. It's transition. Let me say this clearly because someone needs permission tonight. You do not owe anyone the old version of you. Not the version that tolerated disrespect, ignored their own needs, stayed quiet to keep the peace, broke themselves to keep others comfortable. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to protect your peace. And anyone who truly loves you will eventually learn how to love who you're becoming. If you're in that place right now where you feel misunderstood, where growth feels heavier than expected, where you miss people but can't go back, I want you to hear this. You are not lost. You are not selfish. You are not wrong. You are becoming. And becoming often feels like letting go before it feels like arriving. So sit with it, breathe through it, trust it, because one day you'll look back and realize this was the moment. You stopped living for who you used to be and started living as who you truly are. And that was worth everything. Friends, share this video with someone you care about. And if this is your first time tuning in, hit the subscribe button so I can continue to bring you more uplifting videos.